Beneath the skin of your waking life, a silence waits. Not the silence of peace, but the silence that hums behind every word you do not speak. It coils in forgotten corridors, murmuring from the cracked mirrors of your childhood dreams. You hear it faintly, like the whisper of distant thunder behind a closed door. The echo of what was banished, the life unlived, the face you turned away from. And though you name it fear, shame, mistake, you know it by its true name, shadow. It does not sleep. It walks beside you in every choice made from avoidance. It breathes beneath the masks you wear for love. It smiles in the tightness behind your grin, and weeps in the hollow that follows every triumph. You have mistaken it for weakness. You have called it enemy. But the shadow is not your downfall. It is your forgotten twin. When the world first split you in two, the good and the bad, the acceptable and the strange, a pact was made in the silent dark. You would wear the mask to be loved, and bury the rest in the underworld. The hunger, the rage, the visions, the voice that spoke truths no one wished to hear. You buried the soul to protect the skin, but the soul is not content to be buried. There are nights it knocks at the windows of your sleep, cloaked in symbols, strange creatures, floods and fires that make no sense. There are days when the world loses color, when time thickens like honey, and you wonder why your joy feels counterfeit. You think perhaps something is wrong, but it is not wrong. It is the shadow stirring. It is the dream knocking. You are not who you think you are. The face in the mirror is a fragment, a persona, constructed of applause and rejection, reward and punishment. The hero costume stitched together from the threads of what others would accept, but beneath it moves the rejected self, vast as a forgotten god. It waits not to destroy you, but to complete you. And yet, you resist, because to face the shadow is to shatter the image, to unlearn the story, to follow the thread into the dark woods where the path is lost and the names no longer hold. There, beyond reason, the old symbols begin to speak. Not in words, but in flames and forests, in serpents and ruined temples, in wounds that weep light and voices that do not echo your name. Do not run. This is the sacred descent. The journey every soul must take if it is to become whole, not forward but downward, into the belly of the forgotten, where the hero is unmade and the seeker stands naked before the gods of their own making. Here the questions burn. What did you hide to be loved? Whose voice did you silence in yourself? What part of you did you exile to survive? The shadow does not lie. It remembers what you have forgotten. It keeps the memories that broke you, the hungers that shamed you, the dreams you called foolish. It is not evil. It is unloved. It is not darkness. It is light trapped behind a wall of fear. And until you turn to it, until you kneel in the ashes of your old image, you will mistake its cries for suffering. But they are not cries. They are invitations. To remember, to reclaim, to walk into the mirror and meet the eyes you have never dared to see, the eyes of the wolf, the child, the trickster, the wild one who knows the forest paths by heart, the one who cannot be bought, but who holds the key to the locked door in your chest. Let it guide you. Yes, it may take your name. Yes, it may unmake your plans, but it will give you something greater, the truth of your own myth, the voice of the self that waits in silence, watching from the inner throne. It does not beg. It does not shout. It speaks when you are ready to listen. And when it speaks, you will know. You are not broken. You are buried. You are not too late. You are just now arriving. But you must descend. There is no path around the wound, no bypassing the fire. The dragon you flee guards the treasure you seek. It cannot be killed. It must be embraced. You must walk into its open jaws, bearing no sword, only truth. And there, in the belly of the beast, you will find it, your unlived life. It stirs like an ancient lion, starved but regal. It does not ask for vengeance, it asks to be seen. And when you look into its eyes without flinching, the mirror cracks, the mask dissolves, and you remember, you are vast, you are wild, you are a story still being told. This is not the end, this is the beginning. A beginning born of ashes, of dreams long buried, of truths too heavy to carry when you were small. But now, the self has grown weary of waiting. It calls not with urgency, but with the gravity of stars. Come home. Come to the place where your joy and grief walk hand in hand. Come to the wellspring of your strange sacred fire. Come to the temple within, where the shadow no longer hides, but dances. This is the alchemy, the turning of pain into power, of wound into wisdom, of fragment into form, not by erasing the dark, but by weaving it into gold. This is the work of a lifetime. This is the myth you were born to live, and now you remember the way. It begins not with answers, but with questions, not with conquest, but with surrender, not with certainty, but with courage, to walk into yourself, not knowing what you will find, but knowing you must find it. You are not here to be good. You are here to be whole. And wholeness begins where the mask cracks, where the pain leaks through, where the old stories collapse under the weight of your becoming. So fall into the mirror, fall into the fire, fall into the dream that has always waited for you. And when you rise, and you will carry the world in your eyes. Not because you conquered it, but because you finally became it. The shadow you refused to face has become the life you can no longer escape because it is yours, and it is sacred.